Hey guys, this is Modern Mountain Monk. I'm out here in the mountains. I'm in northern Colorado. It's about to rain, I think. So I'm gonna shoot a quick video. I'll just kind of do a slow panorama. As you guys can see here, it's quite dark. The sun was out like an hour ago. Now it's dark. A couple things that I've been experiencing lately is I've been watching a lot of videos about monasteries and monks around the world, both Buddhist and Christian. You can see the snow-capped mountain in the background there. Kind of merges with the dark clouds. And silence, like really immersing yourself in the silence, for me is so healing. And it's so similar to nature, really. Like, the silence is so palpable in nature, but also obviously you can have it at home too. So from kind of my research, I guess, on YouTube, from watching documentaries, yeah, it's definitely going to start to rain soon, so I'm going to make this short. But the silence itself is healing. The silence itself is how, like, God speaks to us, and your consciousness becomes the silence eventually, for how immersed you get into it. And also mantras and prayers. So a lot of monks, they're hardworking, and like during the day they have a mantra or a prayer that they're repeating to stay close to God. That's the connection. That's how your mind gets out of like the overthinking and reemerges with love and presence. And so definitely the last like year or so, I've been using mantras like throughout the whole day. Sometimes it's nice to just have the silence. I'm gonna end this pretty quick because it's really starting to rain. But yeah, the mantra really brings me out of my mind and into presence. But also sometimes it's nice to not use a mantra if you've been using a mantra a lot, or if you've been praying a lot, and just sitting in the silence. It feels so good. And as I said, I think nature, as well as like sitting at home in silence, turning off all technology, turning off the TV, obviously, closing your book, because even a book kind of makes noise in your mind through reading the words, and just sitting there quietly, and just enjoying the silence. If the silence is new to you, you'll get used to it. It's a little bit scary at first, but you'll get used to it, and you'll actually begin to really enjoy it. As a school teacher, I noticed that a lot of young kids kind of have attention deficit disorder. Not just the kids that have it labeled, but probably over half of kids really do, because a lot of kids are so addicted to technology, especially things like video games and Netflix and their phone. You know, playing games. Like students, as soon as there's any free time, most play games. Like they just pull out and play some sort of game. They pull out their phone. A lot still talk with their friends, which I think is probably the healthiest thing. But there's hardly any students that are just sitting there quietly alone. And I think that's probably the most healing. You know, I mean, after the COVID time, I think interacting with others is great. But I think that we have a lot of that. There's a lot of other time, a lot of socializing, and not enough time really diving into our own consciousness. And the last 4, 5, 6 years for me, I've really done that. And for me, it's probably the deepest pleasure that I've experienced is sitting in silence and being alone in nature. As you can see with the beautiful mountain in the background, snow-capped mountain, and the forest here, it's just so soothing, so beautiful. But yeah, like I said in a couple videos ago, you got to be prepared. You know, there are mountain lions out here, there are bears, there's weather. You got to be prepared. So just do your research. You know, like I've done quite a bit of research now on, like, you know, camping documentaries and forest safety, and also just talking with people, you know, who live in Minnesota when I was living there, or especially out here in Colorado, people are very outdoorsy. So yeah, just talking with people who are familiar with uh, with nature, nature safety, forest safety, mountain safety. But I really suggest coming out here with one other person, or especially alone. Really coming out in nature and just really letting your whole consciousness and body, letting your body like be healed by the present silence and by the aliveness of nature here. Well, now it's just drizzling, but I think I'm gonna put my rain jacket on anyways. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll see you guys later. Peace from Colorado. Bye.